You know, I think each of us attempt to tie what we know together in some meaningful way. The brain is a pattern-seeking organ, so when we have things happen, we want to know how it ties together. And so living in a home and growing up with my older brother, Bill, I was fully aware of his passions and what he was doing. But I had my own passions, and I wanted to go into science, and I wanted to go into higher education and be a professor. But when I ended up going to a university and being a professor, I tied these two things together in sort of a creative way, because what I discovered was that my students knew nothing about self, that none of the courses they took actually helped them and prepared them to have self-awareness and to understand their own uniqueness. So I started using the assessments in my classes. And you know, it changed everything that we did. It changed how we worked together. It created a family and not just a group of people learning content. The end result of that and a number of other things that I was doing resulted in some notoriety, not only at the university, but nationally and internationally. All of this resulted then ultimately in an award that was given to me in Washington, D.C. for the Outstanding Teacher Preparation Program in the nation. And Carl Sagan, in a ceremony, gave me a big plaque for recognition of this program. So when you show up back home with a big plaque from Carl Sagan, somebody says, well, maybe you ought to tell us what you do. So a large meeting was established where I presented to the faculty what I felt was unique about my program and what I was doing for students that maybe other people weren't doing, primarily helping them understand self. And the result of that meeting was devastating to me. It was total rejection. The faculty said, well, this may work in business, but it won't work here. And this is wrong. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to teach content. It just went on with all of these rejections of the concept. Now, Bill earlier has talked to me about entrepreneurs and what they do when they're faced with rejection. And I can tell you what I did. It made me mad. It made me mad, and it made me convinced that I wanted to figure out how to change this culture. So as a result, my research was in cognitive neurology to start with. I needed to know if these instruments were really working and were accurate. And so one of the things that I've done in the last few years is I've taken the assessments and I've taken the answers that people give on those self-reports. They're self-reports, so how can they be true? I mean, you're just putting down what you think. And I have run people through an EEG lab, and I have collected brain wave activity on the prefrontal cortex, looking at gamma wave activity, and I've been able to differentiate, and I literally can answer your survey with the brain output instead of even looking at your paper. That's how accurate these things are. These are coming right out of your brain. This research has given me a sense of confidence in what we're asking others to do, in the kinds of assessments, and the awareness that comes out of self-assessments is just so crucial to your future.